is it kind of not allowed, but like, can you be the one to identify that I don't think you're ready for a relationship, so I don't kind of wanna.
Well, you ask him though. You talk to him. Like, what is he telling you? Is he saying like, yeah, I want to be with you?
Well, yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes, but
Are his actions showing that he wants to be with you?
yes,
Okay.
but it's a yes and no. Do you know what I'm saying?
All right. What's yes the no one?
Because of the distance.
So he doesn't want to establish a relationship with you.
But I don't
Okay.
either. Do you know what I'm saying?
So what is the question?
The question is more like. Let me read it out properly.
Yeah, read it out. Read it out. We're being around the bush here. Let's get to the stem and rip out the roots so we can take a look at what's going on. Okay.
I've already overlined that one. Oh wait, so okay.
Go for it.
Do you think it's appropriate?
Yeah.
When you meet and link up with a person for the first time, to address what you want as the outcome of it.
When you say link up, you're talking about sleeping together?
No.
Oh, just me and the person.
And you both have an attraction towards each other, but is it appropriate at first instance to be like, hey,
I'm looking for a relationship and marriage. Is that what you mean? Like to say, hey, I'm looking for a relationship and marriage.
Well, yeah, but also like if you're on a friendly vibe. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you just want to like fuck buddies.
Oh, okay. So I'll say this: if you're just looking for something casual, as a woman, if you're looking for something casual, 100% say that on the first date. The guy black, come on, the black cool.
What if you were to hear, I want to see where it goes?
What that as a guy?
Yeah.
Then that's special too.
But it's not also being straight because you don't know if they want to still explore, but you also don't know if.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you like, hey, you're like, look, I'm open to seeing where it goes, right? And if he says, yeah, I'm open to seeing where it goes to, then whether it goes serious or not is dependent on how you date him.
Okay, so regarding that,
yeah.
Do you think a woman's actions and her, callback time is all in alignment to how a guy reacts?
When you say callback time, what do you mean?
Like she's always she's hot on the messages. She's like actively.
Like she's very present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is it always kind of up to the guy to? I feel like, do you know what? Genuinely, more than recent, like how a woman kind of gives herself and represents herself to a guy, and the things that she does, the things that she says to a guy.
Yeah.
I think the guy tries to match energy, but also sometimes if a girl is so out there on a guy and he's just kind of laid back and kind of what's the difference? Like at the end of the day, it's like individuals, isn't it?
So okay, so what I would say is this: especially as a woman, you don't invest in him based on how much you like him. You invest in him based on how much he invests in you.
Say that again.
So you don't invest in him. You don't give based on how much you like him. You give based on how much he is giving you.
What happens if it can't go anywhere? Like if he's just
if he's not giving you anything, he's not interested. That's it. Think of it this way, right? Imagine you're at the end of a bridge, right? Let's say you're not at the end of the bridge and in the middle is the relationship. Yeah? I take one step forward, you take one step forward. You might take one step, I might take one step, right? We're working towards establishing this relationship. If you take 2 steps forward and I don't take a step, you don't move.
If I take 2 steps forward.
Yep. And then if I don't reciprocate that,
yeah,
you don't take another step. You don't move, right? Because what happens is, and this happens with a lot of women, is they feel like they're getting close to the relationship in the middle of the bridge with this guy, right? She takes 2 steps. She's like, oh, we're like 4 steps away. He doesn't take a step. She's like, okay, I'm going to take another step. He doesn't take a step. I'm going to take another one. And then that's when it's like, it's not that he's like, oh, it's too much. He might be. But because you're not reciprocating his investment, right? It gives the impression that it gives low value impression.
Whose side?
The girls. And the guys though. Because if a guy takes 2 steps and you don't reciprocate that energy, and then he still comes after you and then after you, and you're not giving him a lot, what does that tell you about him?
Wait, if he's not moving, then he's just not invested anymore.
Yeah, but imagine if it's the other way. Imagine a guy, right, that you're not moving, but he's still coming after you. He's still taking the steps, right? What does that say to you about him?
That he's invested.
Right. But it also says for you, you're like, I'm not giving this guy anything, and he's still like,
Yeah, but then some girls can really take advantage of that. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
And I think a lot of people do bring up like some people lead with the head of pretty privilege, as it's called.
Yeah.
And I think when they see guys that do that and will give and give and give, they will take and take and take.
100%.
They'll end up finding more elsewhere. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
But that's just the illusion of options as well. So have this guy that's investing in you, and then because you have other options and other people that are asking and investing,
Yep.
like you kind of pick and choose, that pick and mix. So at the same time, like you could take from this person and kind of use them like the click of your finger, but obviously it's only until they kind of drop out, which is when you're like, oh no, like I want you, and then the chase comes.
I get that. So what I would say is this: if there is if you find yourself giving, that person's not giving you anything, right? That's on you. So for example, if there's a guy giving to a girl, and she's not really giving anything back, but she's just enjoying receiving,
Yeah.
but she's not reciprocating, and he continues to give, and he feels like he's wasting his time and energy, yeah, you are, bro. That's on you. Because she's not reciprocating that energy, but yet you're still trying to take those steps.
What if he was to say, listen, I'm recognizing that you're moving like this. I feel like a lot of people don't really they don't really go over too much lovey-dovey details at the beginning.
But nothing needs to be said because she's shown through her actions.
But no, what I'm saying is like, what if he was to be like, listen, I'm recognizing what you're doing. I don't appreciate it. I want to be the kind of person to do this and this with you. But because you're not being how I would have imagined, obviously I'm going to now kindly remove you.
Vacate.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, fair
But
enough.
I think a lot of people nowadays in this generation, they don't really formally kind of end it with people. I think if they see someone's attitude and someone kind of playing up, I feel like nothing is formally closed off, and it's all kind of like still up in the air. So if you were to see them, is it a high thing? Is it a bye thing? Is there so many questions in your head thinking?
Yeah, because I think a lot of people don't like to close those doors. So it might be like, okay, maybe this person is not interested now, but they might be in the future.
Do you think to spare your kind of
What, sanity?
sanity in a way, why continue to entertain the things that are not for you because you are delaying what is meant for you?
Well, I agree, which is why I'm saying if you keep giving to someone who's not reciprocating, you should stop. If you keep on giving, that's on you.
But then,
Yeah.
could you turn it around by, if you're really attracted to the person, you really actually kind of want to like, you know, kind of like manifest?
No.
Okay.
Sorry. If the person is, if you're dating someone and you're worried it's not going the way you want it to, right? That can be changed around, yeah, but you're dating them. That means they're dating you, right? But if you're trying to engage and date them, but they're showing through their receptivity that they're not even open to it, then no, it's not on you to change their mind. It's not on you to manifest them to want it.
Do a little bit of juju on them.
Dude. And listen, I'm Nigerian, innit? And juju, that, you know, old Nigerians of, you know, ancestors, they do some juju sometimes, but
not gonna go away. Yeah, I was gonna say, what if it's like you become a more understanding person of their lifestyle? Or actually, that was something I was gonna bring up.
Like, oh, we mean their lifestyle. Be specific.
Like, if you're seeing them dating them and then they end up turning around and being like, listen, a lot's going on. I don't think I'm going to be able to kind of, you know, message you on the regs as before. I think I personally need to go through a little growth journey. But, like, I still respect you as a person. Even if they won't say that, even if they did not say that, and they were still acting in ways that were absent, right? And you're qualifying, is their lifestyle up to what I am? For example, if a man goes to sleep at 8 p.m. in the morning, in the evening, 8 p.m. in the evening, and wakes up at 4 a.m., goes to the gym. He looks at his trading thing on his laptop. He's a go-getter. He go to work. He'll come back. He'll go to the gym again. You know what I'm saying? This person that's really on a grind. Then you have your lifestyle, which may be whatever it may be, but it's not going to sleep. Maybe I'm going to the gym at 8 p.m., and they're going to sleep. But like the way that I'm speaking to this person, I like them. But then you kind of have to think, their lifestyle, is that something
I understand.
that can affect me too?
What, if you're not with them? If you are?
If you're with them, yeah.
Well, no, because everybody has their own individuality, even though they're in a relationship. But it's about the time, it's about the intentional time you make together. That's what makes it work. It's not about what you do in your own time. It's about, okay, do you make time to build a life together? Do you make time to have experiences, to go on dates, to have movie nights? Like, do you make that time for each other? That's how a relationship works, because there's so many people who are very busy, but they still have relationships and marriage. Like, the president of the United States is probably arguably one of the most busiest men on the planet, and they've always been married, right? They have families. So when everyone's like, I'm too busy to have a relationship, you're lying.
Yeah, I get it.
Because if the president of the United States can have a relationship, so can anyone else.
Very happy though. Is she happy though?
Hey, she's with him, right? She can leave anytime she wants.
She there for the money, I think.
Yeah, but maybe. If he wasn't who he was, she wouldn't be with him. But he is. So.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, I think it's also the understanding, having an understanding of your partner or future partner or someone that you're speaking with is also really important.
I understand. I think you're overcomplicating it. If he is not showing himself to be available for a relationship with you, then that's how you need to take it. Because you trying to wait until he's ready, because the thing is, nothing's guaranteed, right? So what if you wait 3 years, 2-3 years, and then he's in a relationship with someone else? But you've been holding out for this person the whole time. Right. But then you can't blame him, because he told you. He said, he was like, hey, like, I think you're great. I respect you. Really like you. If the situation was different, then maybe things would be different. But there's things that I'm focusing on that I can't give to this right now. And we should, especially as a woman, you should really appreciate when a guy says this to you. Because some guys don't say. They'll just pull away from you.
No, like the percentage is like 8% that don't say that.
That's what I mean. So when a guy does say that, you should be like, thank you for letting me know. And then you have a choice to make. And you could decide, okay, well, I can continue to hold out for this person until I think they're ready. But 9 times out of 10, I see it all the time. 9 times out of 10, like, they will choose someone, especially if they're a different country, like, they'll just establish a relationship with someone else. And it's not because they don't like you and they wouldn't with you, but the circumstance of life is just not something that they want to choose. Some people could do long distance relationship, but generally it doesn't work. Unless you're going to plan to meet together unless you're going to plan to close that distance in the near future, it doesn't last.
Yeah, in the near future, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've actually experienced one, and we came to actually live in the same place at like 1.5 years later, and it worked out quite well. It ended horrifically. Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
But still, I was because you're saying I'm over complicating.
I know you're trying to think of all these variables and influences, and I completely understand that. But it's a lot simpler than you think.
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.